Lonnie Payne here with a flight sim video for you. Some of you may recognize my name from quite a while ago in the flight sim industry. I did a 757 that I did freeware that was pretty popular. I sold the licensing rights to it to Abacus, and you could actually buy it in stores for a little while. There's it right there. And then I was one of the 4 original members of Eagle Soft Development Group. I worked on quite a few business jets with them. I don't really do anything like that anymore, but I do fly VR. And so I've kind of gotten back into it with DCS is what I mainly fly, but I do have Microsoft Flight Simulator. What I'm going to do today is I've got a seat. It's called the OpenWheeler. You can get it on Amazon. All the links to the stuff will be in the description below. I'm going to review that seat and kind of go over my setup with you. So if you want to see how that seat works, let's get going. All right, going to give you a brief overview of the OpenWheeler seat. There's plenty of ways that you can order this, so some of the things you see may have been ordered separately, so you can go through the Amazon page and click what you like, but I'll basically review what I have and we can go from there. It's a great seat. I love this thing. I've been using it for probably, I don't know, 6-8 months, maybe even longer. And I think it's built like a tank, and it's easy to use. It was easy to put together, very professionally designed in my opinion. Everything on it is designed to be quick, so there's a lot of quick attachments to it, so it's pretty easy to adjust. You got your base unit here, and then you have on all 4 corners you can add different things, and some of them came with it. But this little table for my Warthog, and then you can adjust the height. You've got 2 quick adjustments, and then when you're really set, you do a permanent adjustment there, which is just an Allen wrench. This is built for pedals, and I'll eventually get the flat plate that allows you to put rudder pedals on there. They're on back order. This is the quick connect for the steering wheel. So I left it on there, so when I want to change over, I can just pop this off, take the stick off, put that on, and go from there. So like I said, it's fairly quick to do changes. There's a seat adjustment right here. It's pretty, easy to adjust the seat. Got another plate. Now this was actually just for a shifter, but I took the base plate off my Warthog, mounted it upside down, so I have a nice mouse plate here. Now basically the butt kickers and the amp, that's something I added, and I'll cover that in a little bit later. But it's got wheels on it, so you can lift the front of it up and move it around if you need to. Comes in all kinds of colors. And one of the things that I thought was really cool was today's world, everybody just gives you the absolute minimum they can give you. This company, you get nice paper manuals, instructions. So, it goes through how to build everything, and everything that's here came with it. I mean, every screws and everything was labeled. All the tools came with it. Got you a nice little bag to store things. This was an extender. These are for the joystick extender kit, so you can make that different sizes. But I was very impressed with the quality of all the things that were sent with it. I mean, all the tools. I mean, you just don't see that a lot in companies nowadays. And I think it was nice. But the quality seems very, very high, and I'm really loving this seat. Also has a recline adjustment, so you can adjust the seat. But overall, I think it's a super quality seat. I have no reservations about it. And one thing I'll mention on the 4 corners, for these L brackets, you can adjust 2 ways. in and out, so how far it is away from the seat, and then also the height. So there's quite a bit of adjustment in there. And once again, this center joystick mount was a separate kit, and the L brackets to put the butt kickers on were also available separately. As a real-world pilot, it's all about realism to me. So I fly only VR. It just has a more real experience to me. And then I've made this adjustment, and I'm using the program called Sim Shaker, and I added the 4 butt kickers and an amp. Takes an input from the program, which is customizable for different feels of concrete, engines, guns, missiles, and you can have it attached to your frame, and so when these butt kickers vibrate, it vibrates the frame and you feel it. And there is left and right vibrations. Now granted, you get a little bit of crossover when this vibrates. It's not, you know, you're going to get it in the frame, so you'll still know it's on the left side, but it's kind of like in a real airplane. I mean, things will happen on certain sides of the airplane and you feel it. And it's such an immersive experience when you have that extra level of realism. It's not motion, but it really does enhance the experience. In fact, if I forget to turn it on and I take off, I'm like, oh, stop, I gotta turn, something's wrong. And so I'll stop the sim and plug it in and start over, just because I've gotten so used to it that it's so cool. And I might do a separate video on how I use this, how to set it up, and the actual mods, the wiring and everything that I did to do this, but it really adds to the realism. And like I said, these little posts were actually made for that, so you can order those as an option and mount them. And then these I just hard mounted, and it may be overkill. I may not need 2 of them, but I had 4 of them sitting in a box, so if 2's good, 4's got to be better, right? So anyways, it's really cool. And like I said, maybe do another video on how that whole thing works, but it works great with this particular seat, and you know, I think it's a great option. All right, just show you a little bit how these work. I don't use the Allen permanent. I just use the 2 quick things, but 2 little twists, boom, take it off. You got something else you put on there. When you're ready to go, I usually mark the area, so if when I put it back on, I know exactly where to put it. And you're done. And like I said, if you want to roll it around, you simply just lift it up. You can take it wherever you need to take it. I can actually put the seat down and lift it up when I'm not using it, and I can actually store it in this closet. So it's right up along that wall. So makes it pretty easy to work with. In conclusion, I just really think this is a top quality seat. The only thing that I could even possibly say is that it's not cheap. I think the base price is $400, and then you've got some add-ons that, you know, however you want to design the seat. But even at that price, for me, I do not have any qualms about buying this seat. I used my own money. Nobody sent this seat for review or anything. This is just something that I really enjoyed and thought I'd put out there, a view of it, so people that may not know this OpenWheeler seat can look at this and maybe make a decision if they like the seat. The way it puts together, the high quality, the instructions, the tools, I mean, you just don't see a lot of that nowadays. Everybody wants to get by on the cheap, and this thing, to me, definitely was not on the cheap. It's very high quality, very well built, and so I can't recommend it enough. Hopefully I'll have another video shortly on the whole sound system with the butt kickers, and I'll show you how that's set up. But remember, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe. See you on the next one.